That's important, and that's the beginning. Okay? So there must be an unmet need that you are trying to identify. And then you develop a clear plan or project proposal on how you are going to meet that need that you have identified in your community or in your society or in your town or in your city or in your village. And then you want to thoroughly research the funders who are working in that area that you have identified the need, okay? Because funders don't fund everything and anything. They are very focused on certain areas. And so you need to research funders to understand whether those funders are funding projects, activities in that area that you have identified. But then you need to build strong relationships. And how you do that, we talk about that. And then you target your proposal very carefully to those funders that you have identified here. Okay? So you don't write your grants generally. Okay? And even if, let's say you have found two funders who are funding projects in the same area, learn as much as you can about each of those funders and try to speak to them, not to them. You understand? Yeah. Target your proposal specifically for that particular funder. And then, of course, you need to write a concise project. And we'll get into the mechanics of how a concise proposal look like and what are the main components of a proposal, at least a good proposal. In my experience, can you go back? Yeah, in my experience, all those major components that we are going to talk about, all funders, you are going to find that they are common to all funders. They may be in different order, but you are going to find that they are common to all funding organizations. And so, if you can develop skills and expertise in trying to write those parts of the proposals that we are going to talk about, then you are going to be successful. Now, I'll tell you, the way for me, the way I write proposals, at this point, proposals are easy for me to write, that I will share with you. And my success rate is about 60-40. So I still miss a lot of 40% I don't get of proposals that I write. But 60 is a good, I will live with it. Okay? One of the things that I have learned is that you need to write well. You need to not speak in jargon. The other thing that a lot of people miss, I can say that because I serve on a lot of panels to review other people's proposals for funding. So when you are writing a proposal, this should always be in the back of your mind, that these proposals that you are writing are actually going to be read by people like yourself. There's no machine that reads these proposals that you write and submit. You understand? So here is the trick. Most of us who review proposals, and many of the organizations that you are going to write proposals for. So when you write a proposal and you submit to an organization identifies people like me and others to form a panel to review those proposals. Yes? Now, people like me are also have many other things to do. don't have the job of just reviewing your proposal. Okay? And very often, this you may not know, very often we are given between 20 to 40 proposals to review. Okay? Now, I'm going to ask you a question. So, I have a pile of 40 proposals, yes, that I'm being asked to review. So, do you want your proposal to be at the top of that pile or at the bottom of the pile? Eh? Why? Why? Eh? I want to hear what you are saying. What, can you stand up and say that again?
By the time you get to the bottom of the pile, the law of diminishing returns has already set in and you've lost interest and attention. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, your focus, your understanding, your attention, your patience would have gone diminished by the time you get to the bottom. So you're just looking for something interesting.
Did you hear that? That's very, very true. That's very, very, very true. But the other thing also happens. So in this pile that I have some really, really, really good proposals. And I have some really, really mediocre proposals. And I have some proposals in between. Okay? So let's assume your proposal is at the bottom. Okay? First, I'm tired already. And I've just read some very wonderful, fantastic proposals. And they come to yours toward the end. And it is all over the place. Yeah? So I've already been biased by these very good proposals that I've read. So I'm comparing your proposals with others. You understand? That's human thing. So people who read your proposals are human beings like myself, like you. And so if your proposal is not concise, this lady is looking at me saying, I'm finished now. Okay? So I'm going to give you some pointers that you can use to make it easier for people who are reading your proposal, first to find the things they are looking for, but also not make their eyes tired. So for example, if you write a page, one page is all one paragraph. And the way you write a sentence that is, it takes 5-6 lines. For me, as a reviewer, when I'm reading that sentence, I get lost. In a sentence that is 5-6 lines long, I get lost. And I stop reading. Then I focus on trying to look for information that I need to score your proposal. Very likely, I scored it very low. You may have said the things you want to say, but you didn't make it easier for me to read it, and you did not make it easier for me to find it. You understand? So those are some of the things that you are not going to find you in many books about grant writing, but those of us who review grants and proposals, we know that we are biased at the end. The proposals that come to the end really suffer. Now, for me, I've developed a system that I try to help people because I know I put in a lot of time and work in developing my proposal. So I try to help other people. So I'll first do a quick reading. I'm skimming through every proposal that I have to review. Then I put it away. Then I come back, now I'm reading each proposal. Your sentences, how do you structure your paragraph, how do you structure your sections, and subsections of the proposal so that it is all easier to be read by those who are going to review your proposal. Next slide, please. So, you have identified a need, okay? We are going to come back to the needs that you identified in the assignment that I gave you. Oh, did you go too far? Oh, okay. I'm ahead of myself. So these 8 components, are part of every proposal you are going to find. They may be sequenced differently, but if you don't have these 8 pieces, your proposal might not be complete. Okay? So each proposal has a cover letter. A cover letter can be very short, 3 or 4 sentences, or it can be long, 1 page. I never advise writing more than 1 page cover letter. Okay? Why? Because you want people to read your proposal. You don't want people to spend time reading your cover letter. You understand? Some of us want to put everything that we know in the cover letter to try to play on their emotions. Okay? No. And then you have an executive summary, or what we call abstract. In some proposals, they may call it abstract, but it's really a summary of your proposal. Now, you can, this part, even though come at the top of your proposal, is written last. You understand? Let me repeat. Your summary of the proposal is written last. That's the last thing you are going to do once you have written your proposal, because you can't really do a summary of your proposal if you have not written the entire proposal. Okay? So that's the section that we write, at least for me. That's the last section I write for my proposals. Okay? And then you have a problem statement, or sometimes you call methods. And then, you have a problem statement or need statement, and then you have a method or approach that you are going to use to resolve the problem. You have evaluation plan. Some people already talked about sustainability. You have sustainability section. You have what we call institutional experience or capability of your organization or of yourself. Okay? And then you have the budget. If you have these 8 parts in your proposal, you are going to have addressed almost everything that the funders need from you. Now, the challenge sometimes comes in the limitations the funders put on you. I just recently, last week or the week before, I wrote a proposal, and they only wanted 5 pages. Yeah? But all of those things have to be in those 5 pages. Yeah? You follow me? And then sometimes I write proposals where they say 25 pages. Okay? All these things that still have to be there in 25 pages. So the trick is to find out a way in which you can have all of this in the 5 pages and in 25 pages. Now, for me, what I do, when you are given this short space to write a proposal, and in fact, they know the tricks, because we play tricks. Those of us who write grants, they tell you it's 5 pages, And they're actually very specific. 5 pages, Time Roman, font, 12 font. In the US, it will be different here. In the US, even they specify the margins 1 inch. Yeah? Yeah. So you have less room to be creative. But sometimes I try to be creative. Okay? So, because I want to fit so much in this space that they have given. Now, I'm not saying that you should go do these tricks, but these tricks exist. Okay? So, what I do, I say, so are they really going to find a ruler and measure these margins? So, I expand my page to 0.8 or sometimes 0.9. Not too much, just enough. So that on the naked eye, you cannot tell the difference between 1 inch and 0.8. I expand the margin, and I expand the top and the bottom. A little bit, just a little bit so that I can have enough space. And then I go for 11 point something on the font. Actually, it does not accept, so I do 11.5 because it doesn't accept anything in between. But because I'm trying to put so much on this space. So that's one trick. But also, in order for me to write 5 pages, I first need to write this thing the way I think it's going to be. So I write more pages than the 5. And then I start cutting. I look for what is important. Then I have my staff. I say, look, okay, this is supposed to be 5 pages. I'm at 8 pages. I need you to help me. Cut this thing to 5 pages. So they go to work. They cut and they combine things. Sometimes I'm too wordy in my writing. So in something that I said in one sentence, they can shorten it to 5 words or less. Okay? So those are some of the tricks. But the beauty of, I really would recommend to you that you adapt this when you are writing grant, adapt this as your outline. Okay? And this is how I write grant. When I'm starting, I put this outline in the computer. Okay? In the file. And I start writing backward. For example, this part I already have. I know it. I only modify it to fit this particular grant. But this you are already going to have. And most likely, if you really know what you are going to do, you may have some ideas also on this part. And then you focus, and this I write last. So I don't bother going there. I focus more time on this. And if you did a good job here, this becomes easier. And we'll talk about that. Okay, but you have to have done a good job here. In this section, between these two sections, there is here what I call goals and objectives, and we'll look at that. But if you did well in articulating your objectives, then you are going to have an easier time doing the evaluation plan. And we'll talk about how that comes together. Okay? And any question up to this point? Yes? You can here, this section can be both evaluation and monitoring and evaluation plan. Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh. 2 pages, yes. Yes.
Say anything about budgets. So I didn't put
Okay.
budgets.
I will talk about that soon.
Okay.
Hold on to that question.
All right.
Yeah. For me, I will not call that a proposal. Yeah. But we'll talk about it soon. Let's hold on to that question. Did I see another question somewhere? Okay.